This will be a reading from Pervigilium, Volume 2 of the Sovereign Citizen series. I'll read the opening, which is an interlude in the story where the character ekes out a weird life at Mesa Verde after having destroyed Elephant Butte Dam. He's now settled into his existence as the sole human who is free to go anywhere and take anything for himself. Chapter 1. Cliff. Ashes were once powerful embers, now flaked with white paper, cool to rest with fuel finally spent. They passed through their time of power. It was an era of red and orange. Violent winds inside caverns blow paper that might occasionally break free to float up to the sky on a column of heated air. There was an era when fuel was alive, when it would have been impossible to imagine the heat and destructive force of the ash was not far away. But it came. And in that force, columns of heat touched huge walls of stone to move inside them, to pass between ancient spaces and be trapped for a time. They stayed and took up residence inside that stone. And when the water touched it, there was no place to enter. It met heat and was pushed away on columns of air that filled the sweat house with steam that then moved into skin and ripped open tiny doorways it found there. This was the point. The era of red and orange fed the machinery of the sweat house that would last as long as the fuel held out, and lingered in the era of ash. Outside, a mother slept as her two puppies sniffed around looking for another game to play while he moved from the icy cold of the creek back over to the columns of heat of the sweat house. Again, for hours, the era of red and orange fed machines that led him to alternate between extremes and pass the afternoon until the ash took control. And it was the time to invite the mother for a walk in the valley. She was accustomed to patience, but her puppies were ready before it was time. Each time. Every day was the same. And they were ever ready to move on to the next thing. They had forgotten the long wait without food that was too much for their twins. They forgot their smell and their weak sounds when their mother left with empty sacks of milk to search for something to refill them, but came back with empty sacks of milk, daily. They forgot the smells when they were pushed to the edge of the nest to be forgotten. Their mother forgot them too when she changed them into milk for a brief time before he found them. He never knew. It was the family's secret of survival. She knew he saved him. Already at that time, the puppies were making new noises of weakness since the new milk only lasted a few days. Already she'd begun to select from among the sounds. Then he brought her rich fuel and caused the milk to explode inside her body that cut the weakness they'd felt for weeks. She knew so keenly that it was never a question that he might threaten her nest as she sat down next to them, nor when he showed uncomfortable interest again the next day. Fuel meant trust was given. They never forgot the smell of trust, even in their impatient games outside the sweat house.